tres of unsolicited
Nick picks.
We've said it a few different ways. We've said Nick picks, Nick's picks, Nick's flicks, Nick's flicks picks.
We should probably decide on one, hey?
Nick picks.
Nick's picks. Unsolicited Nick's picks is like hard to say. Yes. Unsolicited Nick picks.
But then it's possessive, so it should be Nick's. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever.
When I hear the Knicks, I just think of the basketball team. The New York Knicks.
Oh, I always think of the singer with Stevie Wonder?
Nicks.
Stevie Nicks? Stevie Nicks.
Yeah. Fleetwood Mac.
Huh. Good start. Good start. My brain is where it needs to be this evening. We know that.
Well, this isn't about music, so it doesn't even matter.
True. I don't have to be in that headspace. Although, you know, I don't know much about anything.
That's not true.
But I do know I know very little about, so...
No, well, that's the first step to knowing.
I think I like life this way, though, because it's kind of like having gutters in your bowling alley, or your bowling lane. Mm-hmm. You're just kind of like aimlessly bouncing off, but you...
Right. The bumpers.
Yeah, you have the bumpers, and then you're just kind of bouncing off the bumpers, and then you just kind of...
You're going to hit a strike one day.
Maybe, or I'll just roll off the side.
Either
way, I get to the end, hopefully. Either way, I get to the end.
Good.
Yeah. So this week we are discussing
Lamb,
the Icelandic film.
Yes.
Directed by Valdimar Jóhannsson. Okay, this is my understanding.
Okay.
This is his first full movie
feature.
That he's directed. He's featured some short film I don't remember the name of.
Okay.
I haven't watched. I just read that somewhere.
Okay.
He's done camera work. I think some music and AV shit for some other big movies though.
Okay.
I think he did Tomorrow World or whatever.
Right. Tomorrowland,
maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. And then that Star Wars Rogue One. I think it was Rogue One he was on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense because this movie looks really good.
It does look good, yes. Yeah. And the beautiful... I kind of feel like a lot of it was just an excuse to film in Iceland.
I mean, he's probably from Iceland.
True. No, I know. But sorry, what I should say is an excuse to film Iceland.
Right, I see what you're saying, yeah.
Because they had beautiful shots.
Yeah. It looks like a painting. A lot of the shots are just scenic shots of Icelandic landscape.
Mm-hmm. Iceland landscape.
Yeah.
Iceland landscape.
Icelandic landscape. That's a bit of a tongue twister. Icelandic landscape.
Unsolicited Nick's picks. Absolutely beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Cool geology in the area.
Yeah.
Really cool geology.
This is already a tangent from the movie, but I've been to Iceland.
Whoa, really?
Yeah. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Okay. It's the only place I've been in the world that looks like a different planet.
Right.
Just being there and the way the soil, the ground, everything, it looks like you're not even on Earth. It's really cool to go there.
Can I tell you a very fun fact about Iceland?
Yeah, please. So,
Iceland is an extremely unique area because you have, as a quick backstory, you have two types of crust on the Earth, right? Mm-hmm. You have continental, what we're on now, and you have oceanic.
Okay.
Very different.
Yeah.
Very different in composition. Iceland is actually oceanic crust that's been lifted, probably by some buoyant plume of magma material. It's pushed it up to the surface.
Whoa.
So it shouldn't really exist.
Yeah.
We're very lucky we have it.
Huh.
What's even cooler, though, it actually probably makes sense as to why it's there, is Iceland is a part of the Mid-Atlantic Ridge.
Right.
So the Mid-Atlantic Ridge is where we have the Atlantic plate splitting and spreading, and so Iceland, you can actually see the spreading center.
I went there. I did go there.
Shut the fuck up, you did?
I did, yes.
Did you bring me a rock?
No.
You fuck.
I'm sorry.
You dirty little...
I didn't know. I appreciated how cool it was, but I guess I didn't fundamentally understand how
It's neat though. It's neat. I imagine it's absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah. I think it's part of the like main, because I did the Golden Circle tour, which is like a highlight of all the geographical things in the area, like the waterfalls and the geysers and stuff, and so that's part of it.
Things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you if you went, you could definitely get there very easily on the like.
Too poor.
Right.
Too poor.
It's cheap to get there, but very expensive to be there.
Yes, that's what I've heard. But
very expensive.
Someday.
I ate crackers. Wasn't like
you ate crackers?
Yeah.
Were they vegan crackers?
At the time, I wasn't, as vegan.
As vegan?
No.
Are you like?
I was exploring. I was dipping.
You're dipping. Just
yeah. I was dipping my toe in.
Yeah. I like it. No, that's cool. So yeah. Okay. Well.
The movie.
Yeah. The movie. The director's from Iceland. It's my understanding.
Yeah.
And then weird movie. I'll come out and say that.
Yeah.
Very weird movie, but personally I loved it.
Yeah.
I liked how they did it. Sorry?
No, I was going to say I liked it too. I wouldn't say I loved it, to be honest. I liked it though.
Right. That's fair.
What did you love about
it? Okay, so I went in not knowing anything.
Right.
I was working at the theater, volunteering at the theater that night, and then you contacted me a bit before saying, let's see this movie. I agreed.
Yeah.
Had no idea what was going on. It's the whole time I watched it. This is gonna come out wrong. It felt pointless. Mm-hmm. Like it didn't feel like. And what I mean by pointless is like nowadays, whenever you watch a movie, I always feel like I'm like looking for the message. I'm like, oh, where's the stance? Where's the political lean that this director or whoever wants to.
What did they want to say?
Yeah, it's like, oh, I'm just waiting for the deeper discussion on life, or like one that has it all smattered all over itself.
Yeah.
It's like the new Netflix Halloween show, Midnight Mass. Again,
right.
There's always this meaning that needs to be explored.
Yeah.
And then I was watching it. For a dummy like me, it was nice that I sat there and I was like, I can turn my brain off and just. This is a story that it was like a fairy tale. It's just a story someone's telling me. And even a fairy tale has meaning and a story behind it. But this was just like a series of events.
Yeah, I can see what you mean. But it's funny you say that because I wouldn't call it like particularly entertaining though. Like it's not like there's a lot of action or a lot of things happen and there's not a lot of. I mean, it's funny. That's the thing I found the most was it's very like darkly funny, which is what I appreciated about it the most. And I wish it almost like leaned into that. Just a little bit more to the point where you could call it a full comedy, because I wouldn't go that far, but I thought it was quite funny.
Right.
I guess
like if it was more slapstick.
Maybe a little bit, to be honest. I mean, I guess we should say like what it is, right? A little bit.
We'll get there. We'll get there. I think there's more to say before we get there, though.
Yeah.
I was gonna just add on really quick that. That's how I felt. That's why I liked it. It just felt meaningless. It just felt like it was just a story for the sake of a story, a series of events. I really liked that even the director was like, this is based off some random dream I had.
Right, yeah.
I think it was based off a dream, and I guess something like halfway through, he was just had no... He was just like,
no
I don't know what this means. There's no meaning to it.
Yeah.
Let's change the meaning. It's something like that.
Yeah.
Probably read that on Reddit or something.
Yeah, it's just like...
So who knows if it's even real, but... That was my understanding.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say something and I forgot what I was gonna say actually. Must not have been important.
Was it that you like? Did you find any meaning in it later, or have you like?
No meaning.
Okay.
And then it was nice because I could just like. Yeah. I have really bad problems paying attention to stuff, and like halfway through I stopped paying attention and I came back to it and I was like, whoa.
Right.
I didn't miss anything.
Yeah.
I know what's happening.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, it was great. But no, it was fun. It was just like, here's a thing, and you just got to go through it.
Yeah, it. I mean, that's kind of why I didn't love it almost because it was maybe that's why I didn't love it because it felt a little not aimless, but yeah, just kind of like at the end I was like, yeah, it kind of happened.
Yeah.
I mean, there was part of me that wanted to like see something in it about animal rights, but like even that I think is a bit of a stretch.
Yeah.
I mean, like taking. I mean, because forced impregnation of animals is very common, and you take their babies away from them.
As God intended.
Yeah, right. But that's actually interesting, is like this year has been a big year for animal movies. And like movies about animals. Because there's this movie, and there was Pig, with Nicolas Cage.
Right.
And then there was a movie called Gunda, which I love, which is one of my favorite movies of the year. It's a documentary, a Hungarian documentary, I think, and it just is a film of a farm, and that's all. There's no narration, there's no talking, like there's no dialogue, which is but it like lulls you into a trance, and you just like watch these animals live out their day-to-day lives.
Oh wow.
The animals are having a moment.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
I like it. You're there to appreciate their moment.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to take away any of your moments.
Yeah.
I want you to live forever.
That's true.
But now, is a farm vegan?
An animal sanctuary is. It depends what, like, farm is a loaded term. Are you using animal as a resource? That's not vegan.
Okay. You find an animal.
Yeah.
So, for anyone...
We don't have to debate this.
Well, no. This isn't a debate. Mm-hmm. Just whenever I have a question about whether or not something's vegan, I like to ask Nick, because Nick's a vegan. He knows what is and isn't vegan. Sometimes
I'm not the arbiter of it, though.
No.
I don't say that I speak for everybody.
Right. Okay, I should preface that. I like going to you for your opinion on what is and isn't vegan, because you've given thought to a lot of this, and you have your opinions, and even though most of them are wrong, it is nice to hear them.
Of course.
But okay, so you're saying an animal sanctuary is vegan, and that would be animals. An animal sanctuary would be animals that can't survive on their own.
Yep, or ones that are rescued from farms that are using them for economic purposes.
So what's like defining veganism in this sense then? Would it be leaving animals to do what they would do, or is it like no human interference?
No.
So there can be human interference.
Yeah.
Is it like intent? What?
I think intent is like a big part of it, to be honest. And honestly, there is some debate about whether pets are vegan or not, and like I don't know how I feel about that either. But I mean, I think if you're trying to give an animal the other thing about it is like not forcing animals to breed is a big one. Mm-hmm. So if you're on a farm and you're forcing animals to breed, I wouldn't consider that to be having their best intentions at heart. But if you let them be them, if you like help them live, that's great. But if you're not using them commercially, I think that's a big part of it.
Right. Okay. I have a follow-up question. Let's say you have a farm.
Yeah.
It's full of sheep.
Yeah.
And a half ram, half man comes down to your farm and impregnates one of your sheep.
Yes.
Against its will.
Yes.
But it's a ram man.
Yes.
So maybe it's not against the will. I don't know. I'm reaching into that.
Okay.
Is that vegan?
That's a great question. I have no idea. Honestly, I have no idea.
So I guess we're getting into spoilers at this point.
We're already aware.
Let's make a little spoilers.
Yeah.
I was saying
effective.
All right, so we've said our spoiler piece.
Yeah.
I do want to jump back really quickly.
Okay.
Because you did remind me of what I was wanting to say.
Okay, good.
The topic of you had mentioned like little dialogue or no dialogue in the farm movie.
Yeah.
That's what I really liked about this movie though, with Lamb. Was like in the beginning there's no dialogue for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But you learn so much about the story. Like so much of the story is pushed forward. I know directors can do this, but I still think it's like a magic touch. Maybe it's the editor, of course.
Yeah,
it's the editor.
For sure. I mean, that's why film is so great, right? Is because it can show you a story without having to tell you, and like unlike any other medium, it works in that way. And like you are right, and I didn't think about that, and I didn't appreciate it as much until you brought it up. But it really is a hard thing to achieve, where you ascribe emotion, like thoughts and intention to like characters and even like animals in this movie without them saying a word, and you completely understand. I mean, then we can kind of get into the synopsis too. So this movie is about this couple that lives on a farm in the middle of nowhere in Iceland, and they keep a few farm animals, mostly sheep. And, they just go about their farm activities, and you can kind of get the sense right from the beginning that there's some sort of like tension between them or something. And it becomes clear later in the movie that, and again, spoilers, they lost a child, like their child died. But you get the sense right away that like they're kind of happy, but there's something going on. And then this calf gives birth to, and this is the premise of the movie ultimately, is a half human, half sheep baby. And then they take it in as their own and start caring for it as their real baby, even though it's got a lamb head, hence and arm, yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, that is impressive, and when a movie can do that, it really like stands out. And I think that's kind of why a lot of people, while this movie is weird in topic, it's also weird in style a bit that way, because most people aren't used to movies that will do that and like don't have dialogue for a long time.
Yeah. They were able to, like, as you said, they were able to like build the tension between the mother and father. I can't remember the mother's name. I think the father was like Ingvar.
Yeah, something. The actress of the mother is Noomi Rapace.
Yes.
And she's actually great in this movie. I thought that's the other thing I was going to say that I didn't like think about at the time, but looking back, I actually thought the acting of those two parents were great.
Oh yeah.
And like you said, it's because they like the lack of dialogue, but they still convey so much, and like they actually both love that kid so much. Like the way they're able to convey true love to this little lamb baby is actually really.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Yeah. And like you feel that tension between them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was sitting there and I was even like one step further. I was in denial of it. I was like, "There's tension." No. Yeah. Not a broken home. Yeah. But yeah, you can like feel that tension build, and then there's also great, just great camera use, mm-hmm. where it's like the camera intentionally doesn't show parts of the baby for the long time. You're like, oh, I know there's something wrong with it. Yeah. And you're so aware because the camera's making it so obvious, and you can like know what they're doing, but it's almost like you feel like you're in on it with them. Yeah, and it builds for so long until you actually see the baby. Yeah, and like when we did in the theater, it's like everyone in the theater like laughed, and it is pretty like you can tell it has a comedic tone through the whole movie. Yeah, but it's beautifully done, and again, you're right. They hold it for so long without you seeing. Yeah, and it came to the point where like at one spot I was like, oh, they're just tricking us. Like there's not actually anything wrong with it. Yeah, and then it keeps going like, oh, no, there's something wrong. Yeah. Well, I also thought they would do the thing where they're like, this is a hard effect to do, and it's a hard thing to make it look good, so we'll just avoid it and kind of let you like assume about it or like think about it. But when they do end up showing it, then they just go full tilt, and you see this like lamb child baby like playing and like eating cereal, and it's just like it's fucking wild. Yeah, okay. The special effects are incredible. Yeah, like I haven't read any reviews on special effects, but I thought they were awesome. And again, this guy has some background in special effects, so I'm sure he knows the right people to contact. But beautifully done, like the cereal thing. Yeah. Or it, like brings the dad like food. It's just like it's so funny. Little like sheep arm. Yeah. No, it was awesome. I was interested in how quickly it was developing. Like, does it develop at the rate of a child or at the rate of a sheep? Yeah, that part isn't clear, to be honest, because I can't tell if there's kind of like a cut for it's separated into chapters, and I can't tell if like between, because there's chapter 1 and chapter 2, and it seems like there might be a few years. Yeah. But I can't tell for sure, and it doesn't make it super clear. Yeah. Because you do see it as like a baby and then as a child. Yeah. No, exactly. So that's a good question. I forgot about the chapter part. Mm-hmm. But I guess to carry on with the synopsis, so they have this, they find this baby, and they take it, and they want to love it, and then they run into the problem of the mother sheep keeps wanting her baby back. So they try to sleep, the mother sheep's outside the window, wake them up, and eventually the human mom gets fed up, and she takes the mother sheep out, shoots the mother sheep, buries it. Now that we said, continue. Please. No, I know what you mean. Yeah. I know what you mean. I was like, man, you know what? It actually is an animal rights movie. I'm going to say it. Sure. Well, we'll just make an animal rights movie. Yeah. I'm going to claim it. I like it. And then, so she, shoots the sheep, and then, unbeknownst to her, Ingvar, the father's brother, watches her do that. Yeah, he's like some punk burnout who like owes people money, and they like drop him off in the middle of nowhere so he can go live with his brother. Yeah, I was confused about that. Were they doing him like one last favor because it kind of, I don't want to get too far ahead, but like it kind of parallels. It parallels how his story ends in this movie.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like he just gets driven somewhere and kicked out.
Yeah, it's kind of like they seem fed up with him and they're like, you go away from the city or you go away from us. Like these people who drop him off. We don't know who they are.
No, but it seems like he fucks everything up that he touches.
Yeah.
So
which he does in this movie too.
Yeah. Rightly so.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm trying to think if there's anything in that sequence that really stood out. Definitely an animal rights.
I mean, yeah, like
I'm thinking.
I mean, like stealing her baby and then killing the mother, like the rightful mother, is pretty. And like the way they do it, also, and like when you think back to it, like you could have shot that sequence as like very gentle, but it's not. You see the like human mom like dragging the mom sheep by her like horns with her like face shot out. Like it's very graphic, and you see. And and the movie does a good job of making you be like, well, that's her baby. She wants her baby back. Like that's fair. And then the humans just like execute her for wanting her rightful baby back.
I see nothing wrong with this.
Okay. Yeah. Anyways,
it is brutal. It's weird to watch and like makes you feel uncomfortable and you're like
yeah.
But yeah. Very well done. Very well put together.
Mm-hmm.
I was a big fan of that.
Yeah.
But then the brother Peter.
Yeah. Peter.
Oh, you know Swedish.
Swedish. No. Svenska. Yeah.
I know nothing.
It's not like Icelandic that much.
No?
A little bit. They're all like the root. Like if you have like a Latin root, they're all the same root language. Like
except for Finnish, right?
I think so. Maybe. Yeah, you're probably right.
Something like
Finnish is weird. Finnish is definitely weird.
Yeah.
And I know all the other Scandinavian countries make fun of Finnish people. My Swedish teacher used to say they sound like they have a frog in their throat when they talk. They talk like Finnish people have a frog. Yeah, she used to do that. Sorry to any Finns watching this. I'm sure there's plenty.
Huge in Finland. Mm-hmm. Huge.
Yeah.
They care about our opinions.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. I'm going to do some work in Finland, actually.
Ooh.
Anyways, the Petter is then introduced. He sees the mom killing the sheep. Mm-hmm. He sleeps on the couch, and then he's woken up by the half lamb child, whose name is Ada. Is it
Ava?
Ada.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, I think so. No, I think you're right.
I think it's Ada.
Ada, but
Ada, whatever. And he's freaked out by it.
Yeah.
Hates the thing. Freaks out at his brother.
The real funny thing is the breakfast scene is hilarious.
Oh, right.
When he first the parents are like cooking breakfast and they're like, oh, hey, like, what are you doing here? Because he wakes up and he thinks he sees something, but he's not entirely sure what it is. Yeah. But then he sits down and they serve him breakfast. And then Ada, the baby, comes in and he like looks at her and then like looks at the parents and they're just like they play it totally straight, like nothing's different or weird, and like the look on his face is very funny when he like is like
yeah. And that's the thing about the comedy is like there's so much intentional leaning in, like they intentionally lean into some of it.
Yes.
And I know what you mean by like if they were to lean heavier into the comedy, like I'm sure they could have squeezed out a few more laughs. I will say I think they balanced it pretty perfectly.
You're right. I mean, it would be like almost a stupid movie if it was like trying to be more comedic.
Yeah, like they picked the right spots. They got out of our theater. They got a good chunk of laughs. Yeah. I mean, it's an odd crowd, like, I would say, in that theater. Sure, yeah. But like it got some good laughs.
And I mean, it's dark humor.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
like, it's not it's definitely dark humor.
No, for sure. But it was very funny. Mm-hmm. And then he's mad at his brother.
Yeah. I think he's like confused, right? He's like, what is this thing that you're doing?
Yeah. And then he takes her out.
Yeah.
He tries to shoot her.
Yes.
And he can't.
No.
And then it's one of the sweeter moments is the mother walks around the corner of the barn and he's asleep on a chair with Ada asleep on his chest and he becomes the uncle.
Yeah, and he learns to love her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we kind of hit that nice, like, euphoric climax of the movie. Everyone's happy.
End of Act 2, you know.
Yeah.
It's like everything's going fine.
Yeah. No sign of anything bad. Actually, by that point, I forgot about the mother sheep being shot.
Right.
They did a good job.
It kind of like it feels more idyllic once she's gone.
Yeah. The honeymoon phase.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then this is kind of where it gets slow.
Yeah, I mean, it like tries to now like develop some conflict, like to make it kind of more of a mood, like, you know, more story. Tries to give it more story.
Mm-hmm. And so we get to, correct me if I'm wrong, Peter takes Ada to a lake.
Yeah.
The tractor breaks down. They go home to the Ingvar and the mother, and Ingvar doesn't care. The mother, Ingvar, and Peter get really, really drunk together. Ingvar passes out, and Peter tries to get with the mom. Yeah. Thereby fucking everything up.
Mm-hmm. I also thought, so in this sequence, they're drinking and watching sports.
Yeah.
But there's quite a few shots of Ada, the baby, and that's like kind of when they did such a good job of making her seem like a human, because they communicate to her and she can't speak, but she understands what they say, and they'll be like, Ada, can you please do this or do this? And she understands English clearly, but that's the point. I feel like maybe I was reading too much, but like she sees them drinking and like watching sports and just like can't understand what it is, because ultimately she's not human, right? That's kind of the sense I got. And they ask her to dance, and like she doesn't want to dance, like she doesn't understand what dancing is, and that's when she gets a little bit freaked out, I felt, as well, when they start doing some more human-y things other than just, because all they've really done at this point is eat and do nothing, kind of. But like when they start being more like humans and more social, she like seems to be weirded out by it. That's what I got, at least.
Yeah, you're right. And I think like that whole, let's call it a theme, is like really woven into the story quite well.
Yeah.
The idea of like, is she a lamb?
Yeah.
Or is she a human? And obviously the question or the answer is like she's somewhere in between.
Right.
But you don't know where that falls. And the movie does a good job of trying to like make you see it in a more binary light.
Yeah.
And again, like it even comes down to like she has one human hand and one hoof.
Yeah.
And she does things with both, and she can't do some things with her hoof. And it's very there. It's very intentional, it seems. I don't see a purpose to it. Maybe I'm not seeing it, but it's just like a nice question for you to struggle with throughout the movie to keep you involved, it seems. I do like that quite a bit, though. And you're right. It is like, because she doesn't know how to dance. She doesn't know what she's doing.
Yeah.
She doesn't seem into it all.
I mean, you could kind of say that about a human baby, too, until they're properly socialized. So I don't know.
My nephew, right from the get-go, loves to dance.
Okay.
Too much.
I don't know children, so
yeah, that's fair.
I don't know.
You know me, and I'm a child.
I mean, I'm a man-child.
I'm a child. Yeah, so as we said, the night progresses. Ingvar passes out. Mm-hmm. Peter tries to take advantage of the wife. She says no, and then he blackmails her by saying, you know, I saw you shoot Ada's mother. Yeah. I'll tell Ada, and then I liked the way she tricked him, locked him in the room. I thought that was not necessary, but it was fun it was a good way to push the